All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Pamela Bailey, and I am the GlynnDems District 4 representative. I'm also your host for tonight's Democratic School Board District 5 Candidate Forum. I would like to start by thanking all of you for joining our forum tonight, and I pray that you and your families are safe and doing well during this crisis. Thank you also to our candidate for agreeing to participate. The other candidate for this forum tonight will be Ms. Audrey Gibbons. Tonight, we will begin with a 2-minute introduction from Ms. Audrey Gibbons. Then we will begin asking questions which have been submitted by community members prior to this forum. If you have any questions you would like to ask, please submit it in the chat section on the bottom of your screen. Audrey will have 90 seconds to answer each question. Chantez Ford will be keeping our time and displaying a green card while you are speaking. Change into a yellow card displaying the number 20. There are 20 seconds left. And an orange card displaying the word stop. When the minute is up, we ask that Audrey please respect the time limit so that we can keep our forum moving along and get to as many constituent questions as possible. Audrey will be running against Sean Brown for the Democratic nomination for this position. The election will take place on June 9th with early voting beginning on May 18th. Please make sure you are registered to vote and submit your absentee ballot application immediately. Now for the candidate introduction. Audrey, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Audrey Gibbons. I'm a native of Brunswick, Georgia, a graduate of Brunswick High School, Georgia Southern, Troy State. I am the mother of one, Oriana, son-in-law, Larry Griffin, 3 grandchildren, Akiria, Caden, and Larry Love Griffin Jr. I am a member of St. Andrews. I am a member of several boards. On several boards, I serve on the boards and not just a member of the organizations. I'm a community activist. I believe in giving back to the community and sharing whatever knowledge I have with others to make them a better person as I also grow in the sharing. I am the owner and founder of my business, Okan Associates. We've been in business since 2012. And we are a great employer, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to employ locally and to also enhance our local community socioeconomically.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbons, for that introduction. Our first question is, how would you handle the current COVID-19 crisis as a school board member?
The COVID-19, I think it was handled pretty well by the current board. You have to understand that this past year, we were in attendance 30 weeks out of 36. And then, we started last August. So we had no way of knowing this was going to happen. And we don't know exactly how much the kids have lost. No idea how dedicated or capable the parents were at keeping things moving. Some kids may have progressed beyond where they would have been otherwise. Others may have not done as well beyond riding their bikes and playing touch football. So as a school board member, I would challenge us when we get back into the regular system, no standardized tests until we are back to the norm. We can use standardized tests as a benchmark of how our school system is doing and encourage students to do their best. However, we should not report individual scores or use those scores for individuals until our education process returns to normal. Also, we will enlist volunteers to work online because of the infrastructure there now. Tons of retired teachers. We know that we're doing a lot of Zoom teaching, a lot of online teaching, a lot of distant learning. So we have to be prepared to ask, especially the children that's in a less affluent area, to get help and to reach out to other people that are able and willing to help them, because there are retired people that are willing to do this. We have people that have special skills and training. and they would love to help. We would pair them up with one-on-one, some mini classes to work kids who need special help, and also to relieve the classroom burden, because when the children come back, it's going to be a lot of children at different levels. And instead of us saying they're in the 5th and 6th grade, maybe we need to put them in groups until they learn those benchmarks or master those skills that they lost during COVID-19. We could continue with the Zooming and the distant learning. Those of us who got advanced degrees, we take several distant learning classes, so we know it works, but we have to be disciplined. So we have to focus on the children where the parents are not capable. We need to make sure every child have a Chrome notebook, every child have access to Wi-Fi, and then they can have to reach out to someone, their teacher, another leader in the community, to help them walk through this time until things get back to normal.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gibbons, for that answer. The next question. Some students are not as equipped as others to navigate the current online learning atmosphere due to lack of access to needed technology and the pressure of watching younger siblings and relatives. What can be done to ensure students are not punished for circumstances beyond their control while still holding an appropriate standard of education for the school system?
I believe I kind of touched on that earlier, but I'll repeat it. To make sure the students have Chromebooks and access to Wi-Fi. Make sure we put our volunteers to work who have the skills to help them, the retired school teachers, the social media, the media specialists. Let's use all the people in our community to help these children get back on task. And it won't take the teachers long to figure out who's ready for the 5th grade, who needs to repeat the entire year. The bigger issue here is the retention loss rather than what was missed. We have lost an entire summer. And during the summer months, we lose stuff anyway. We lose some. Some of us lose, some of us retain. But so when we get back, we're going to have just to make sure that more children, more resources are available to reach more children. And if that's making sure that all our children are equipped with Chromebooks, equipped with tutor, equipped with a volunteer, equipped so they will feel comfortable asking questions and moving on, because the teacher needs to know the student and communicate well with the student and the parent to make this work.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbons. Do you see transparency as an important part of holding this position? If so, what would you do to make the actions of the Board of Elections more visible and accessible to the public?
The Board of Education should be transparent. I think the parents need to know, the students need to know. I think it's very important that our students know who the board members are. Therefore, the board members need to be in the school, not only during election time and voting, but they need to be to the PTA meetings. They need to be to the Daddy and Donuts. They need to be to the Muffins with Mom. They need to be to these meetings and meet the children, meet the parents, and then they can relate to them better. And when it's time for us to pass policies, we have said, yes, we've been to Burroughs-Millette. Yes, we were at Alabama. Yes, we were at Glynn Academy. We saw what the children need. We heard them. So you can work from it from a more layman's perspective and let the children and the parents feel part of the solution.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gibbons. What makes you qualified to run for this office and your experience?
What makes me qualified? Let me see. I have, I'm a teacher. By being, I attained my teaching credentials from Armstrong Atlantic University. I have my Master's of Science in Foundation Education from Troy. I was encouraged by Dr. Faye Bodiford to return to college to get my education degree. I was an accountant at the Adult Education Center at the time, and she saw where there was a need to have an administrator that could relate to the student population. I began doing weekly orientation for the new enrollees. I assisted Linda Mock with administering the GED test. I was a math GED instructor at Brunswick Job Corps Center. I taught 8th grade math at Michael Tosh Middle School. I am a parent, a grandparent, an employer, community advocate. I am aware of the needs of the students, the parents, and the employers.
Thank you for that answer. What are the two main issues facing Glynn County schools? What is your vision to address these issues?
I would say two main issues, but what I would like to focus on would be the early childhood education. Expand access to high quality early childhood education. As I understand it, we only have one pre-4 program and it only has slots for 12 children. And then the pre-K program, you have to win a lottery to get there. I think it needs to be opened up. A dollar invested in preschool children has a great impact, especially for the children in less affluent households. So I'm just thinking that when we say early childhood education, we're talking about reading readiness. We will be encouraging the parents, the teacher, everybody to read, but read at least 20 minutes every day by giving them books, by making them accessible, encouraging the parents to allow the children to see them read, because the parents are the teachers once they're home, like during COVID-19. So they're the role model. So that would be one thing, just making sure that the children, that pre-K, early childhood education is expanded, that every child is introduced to phonological awareness, easy listening, reading, sounding out words and blending, social skills, because a lot of children that go to kindergarten, they have not been in a social environment, so it's mine, mine, mine. They don't know about sharing and caring with the other students. So the earlier we start teaching these children these, and that starts at home. But if the school board has to get involved, then we need to start a very good childhood literacy program that reaches children from all walks of life, from every socioeconomic status, and make sure they have the opportunity to read and be exposed to all the resources available. Another area I would focus on is a way of recruiting, training, and supporting teachers. Teachers, responsible teaching. Teachers' residencies and preparation programs like the Urban Teacher Center and assistant school represent opportunities to increase the number of teachers with real world training experience, share their best practice, connect schools to the community, and sources of a diverse talent pool. We have to have teachers, administrators that represent the demographics of the student body, and also not in the teacher, even on the school board. We have to make sure that what our children see are someone they can relate to. As I first stated, Dr. Bodiford, as did the accountant. I had my accounting degree, but she needed someone that could relate to the students. The children age 16, dropping out of high school, the majority of them were people of color. We didn't have any person there besides me for them to respond to or to relate to. So you have to be able to know the student, to know their struggle. And it's not getting personal with them. You can look at a child's eye and see if they're happy, if they're uncomfortable. And when a child loves you or trusts you, when a child trusts you, then you can get them and feel comfortable with you, you can get them. So the teachers, we got to have teachers being responsible. We have to recruit teachers that look like the demographics of the students, and we got to focus on that early literacy education.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbons. Considering the violence seen in schools across the country, how confident are you in the preparedness of the Glynn County school system to face such an event? Do you see a need for improvement, and if so, where?
The violence. I believe our school system is in a good place. Chief Rod Ellis is on top of addressing. He has kept the students, parents, and public informed of each allegation. He has held students and parents both accountable for their actions. We can have officers. We have officers in each school currently. We currently have officers in each school. We can get the officers. The officers need to be more involved in the daily activity of students. They need to be more visible on the campus. They could teach public safety. They need to become more accessible to the students, which will make the students more comfortable to approach the officers. They could collaterally teach. Sometimes when we see the man in the uniform, the police school officer, we just get all shaky. We shouldn't be like that. They should be approachable. We shouldn't be afraid to share with them. So Chief Ron Ellis, he has done a great job of keeping us informed, and each issue that I have been aware of, he has handled it very well. And with officers being in each school, I think we just need to increase their visibility and get them more involved with the children one-on-one with public safety and stuff of that nature.
Thank you for your answer to that question. Thank you all for those remarks. Now we turn this over to your constituents in our audience. You will have 1 minute to answer the question from the audience.
Our first question is about, do we teach to the test or test randomly to gauge progress?
We do not teach to the test. We teach so the child can learn, so they can think. It's called critical thinking. If you teach the material, if you present the material in a pyramid, every child will leave there learning something. And once the children that are struggling, that's when you reteach that lesson. So I don't believe in teaching to the test. Teach the material, test the children randomly, and after this COVID-19, we're gonna see a lot of gap in testing. So I don't think none of that should be held against the child until we get back into the norm. But no, you don't teach the test, you teach the material. You have the resources there. You make them critical think so they can draw the answer and draw conclusions.
All right, thank you for that. Another question in the chat box is about, how do you feel about Dr. Spence being the last candidate for superintendent?
I believe that the school board had 40+ applicants. I believe that Scott Spence was one of a great choice, maybe, and I'm sure he had great competition. He came up through our system here in Glynn County. I even did my student teaching when he was assistant principal at Jane Macon. So yes, I have no issue with him being. I'm very pleased that we have someone local, because when we bring someone in, they always could go back home. Scott Spence is home.
All right. Okay, here's another question from the chat room. How will you address the need for more minority teachers and administrators?
I believe I also answered that one earlier, but I'll go back to it again. We will go through recruiting. There are several different ways that we could recruit, train, and support the teachers. High quality teachers help students succeed. We must reform how we recruit, train, and support teachers. Teacher residency and preparation programs like Urban Teaching Center represent opportunities to increase the number of teachers with real world training experience. We should recruit, share teachers with strong leadership skills and demonstrate success in connecting to their communities. Ensure teaching population that matches the demographics of Glynn County. We also need to cultivate our own teachers to develop local educators and leadership.
Thank you for that answer. We are just a few minutes away from our concluding remarks, so this will be our last audience question.
Okay, Audrey, I know you're a member of the board of the Golden Miles Career Academy. How do you feel about sending all of our students out to the Career Academy, and what can that offer?
Since I'm on the board, is that a fair question? But anyway, I think that we should increase high quality, ready secondary level instruction, and we need to combine the schoolwork with a comprehensive support service. A number of our coalition members, such as Youth Field, which we participate in, USA, the Corp, Skills USA. So when we send our children out there, they're getting cognitive, but they also get hand-on experience. And I don't know if all of them should go, but enough of them, the ones who are interested, the ones who are not sure if they're going on to college and they want to see what career, they get a chance to have hand-on. And not only that, if they do well enough, they get scholarships. They even go from the Career Academy directly to jobs. Gulfstream, King and Prince, several of the local industries hire students right from the Career Academy because they go through the program. So going to the Career Academy is not bad. Should all the students go to the Career Academy? It depends on what track they want. Are they going from high school to work? Are they going from high school to college? And even if they're going to high school to college, they could get some hands-on experience on the area they think they're interested in to see, you know, the waste, I not say waste time in college, but we don't waste time in college, but we just bounce around sometimes trying to fill out what do we really want to do when we become an adult. And once at the Career Academy, they have several different programs they could touch and taste before going off to college, before going into the work world. And then they also have on-the-job training. They are placed in the community in different industries, which give them the opportunity, is this what I really want to do? So hands-on learning is not bad for anyone.
Thank you, Ms. Audrey, for all those answers to these questions to our constituents. We now want to give you 1 minute to make concluding remarks.
I thank the Glynn County Dems for this opportunity to share my platform, which includes the expanding the early childhood program, focusing on ways to recruit and train and support teachers, utilize the school base for warning system with intervention for at-risk students, and increase the high-quality college-ready secondary level instruction combined with the school comprehensive program. I hope that you find that I'm a credible candidate and that I'll be following big footsteps, because I went back and did some research. We've always had great leaders from this area. We had Franklin McKenzie, we had the Leggett brothers, John and Robert Leggett. We've had Laverne Cooper, we've had Venus Holmes and Bobby. All of them have done an outstanding job. So I want to continue their legacy. That was my reason for saying, let me see what I could do to help District 5, because we need someone that could bridge the city and the county. And with me serving on several boards and several different capacities, I believe, and being an employer, that I believe that I am the person that will keep the legacy going, and that we could be, that you all will be proud of. Getting the school board involved in the day-to-day activities of the school by participating in programs and workshops that are at the school, attending PTA meetings, having whole town meetings, whatever it takes for us to get to know our children, know our parents, to make them better young men and young women.
Thank you, Audrey, for your thoughtful answers this evening. Please stay tuned for more upcoming opportunities to meet our candidates. Remember that the primary election is Tuesday, June 9th, and early voting begins on May 18th. Thank you all again for coming out and taking your time for this candidate forum. Thank you.